Hey y'all, it's Rina, aka filesfromrina, and welcome back to another YouTube video.
High volume, high volume, high volume.
Sometimes I look around for someone who might understand it. I've seen it in their eyes that they'll never get it. I think I lost my patience, and now I can't contain it. They were wrong about it.
So today I'm recording a high school freshman advice video. So this video will basically just touch on different topics of what I feel like you need for if you're a upcoming high school freshman. So first we're gonna start off with the basics. So you leaving out of 8th grade, everybody's saying freshman year, like high school is so strict, so hard. They're not gonna let everything slide at high school like they did in middle school. And most people say that they're wrong, but I feel like they're right because high school is definitely a little bit more strict than middle school, and they definitely set certain boundaries academically and socially, like with fights and stuff like that what they let slide in middle school, they may or may not let that slide at high school. So it's like you definitely have to be on your P's and Q's. Second of all, I would say they always say like seniors bully you. If you sit there and mind your business and do what you're supposed to do and stay like within your group, I feel like seniors don't do nothing. Like seniors, like people wouldn't mess with you unless you mess with them. So I feel like that don't really apply for like freshmen. So yeah, I would just say be yourself. Be yourself, stay true to your morals and what you know. Don't let anybody else influence your decisions or what you do or how you dress. Just stay true to yourself, and that'll get you a long way in high school. Overall freshman advice questions. I had a poll, so I'm just answering some of the questions. So is freshman year the easiest of them all? So personally, me, I'm an upcoming senior. So they always say senior year is your best year if you did your junior year right, but I don't know that yet. But personally, me, I feel like out of freshman, sophomore, and junior year, freshman year is definitely your easiest year. That's when you need to focus. You need to maintain your GPA, maintain your grades. That's the foundation of your high school year. So make sure you don't flunk any classes. Well, it's okay if you get a couple, like 1 or 2 C's, but try not to just fail and get C's and you have to do summer school to make it up. But definitely stay consistent with your grades. Freshman year is the perfect year to join clubs and maybe some extracurriculars, but like I said, you're still getting adjusted to high school. So yeah, would you recommend joining an extracurricular or a club freshman year? I'm kind of 50-50 on this. I would recommend that you do join a club and you do get involved within your school freshman year. Extracurricular, I feel like it's situational because I did cheer my freshman year for football and basketball season. And personally, me, I wish that I would have waited until I got a little bit adjusted first, or maybe just cheer for basketball season, because football season, if you're a high school cheerleader, JV or varsity, you know that you have camps all summer, you do stuff all summer, and then as soon as you get back to school, you may have a game like that first or second week. So you're still getting adjusted to high school, and then you go right into your game, you go right into cheer, or you go right into your sport. I feel like that's a lot for a freshman, especially if you're just now getting into a high school, especially a bigger high school. So I would say maybe second term sports or like second semester sports, and then I definitely do suggest getting involved in clubs because it'll be good on your college application if you say you did your so-called club from freshman to senior year if you end up sticking it out. And it gives you enough time to try out different clubs, see what you like, don't like, and you can stay consistent with it. So next, is dual enrollment worth it? So personally, me, I've never taken dual enrollment. I've had good answers from my friends about dual enrollment. I did ask some of my friends, did they think that it was worth it, and they said yes. But I don't really know the coursework for it. I don't know the workload. Personally, me, I do take honors and AP classes, if that helps. And I feel like it was definitely worth it because now I get some of my credits for my college years, and I feel like it's definitely an investment, and it helps raise, at some schools, it helps raise your GPA if you take honors or advanced classes and then AP classes too. If you pass your test, you have to pass your AP test with a 3 or higher for you to get college credits. Also put that out there. School supplies do you recommend? Personally, me, I recommend the basics. When they give you that list, when they give you that big, huge list for all those school supplies, I promise y'all do not need all those school supplies unless it's class specific. Like if it's math and they're telling you that you need a specific calculator, get that calculator because you will indeed need it. But I feel like all the extra stuff you really don't need. Like I would say get a binder and dividers and separate your classes with notebook paper in each one. So if you have to take notes or you just need paper for that class, I would say do that. Get the dividers with the folders in it so you don't have to get no folders. You can put your work in there. Or if you still want to get folders, I do highly suggest folders. I would say, of course, pencils. Make sure you have a pen. Make sure it's black or blue. Do not get rainbow pens if you don't have no black and blue pens, because most teachers only accept black or blue. Because why are you writing your stuff in purple? Like, and then I would probably say make sure you get your water bottle. I feel like if you're an athlete or if you just know that you're a thirsty person, like just get a water bottle. Just get an insulated water bottle. I recommend it Stanley, but they do spill a lot. So make sure you draw things to put in your cup so it don't spill. But I do recommend Stanley's because I have a couple. What's something else I would suggest? That's really all I can think of. Make sure you have a computer or iPad or like some type of device to do your work on. I used to use my computer, but now I use my iPad. If I do essays or written assignments, I use my computer. And if I do usually anything else, like basic assignments, I use my iPad. So will finding a seat during lunch be difficult? So you're split up into different lunches. Well, at my school, it's different lunch periods. So I feel like finding a seat will not be difficult. If you already have friends or you already have a social circle, y'all sit there. Y'all just start sitting there every day. Everybody already has their like assigned seats. Well, not assigned seats, but everybody kind of already has their spot where they sit with their friend group. So just find one that's empty and sit there and chill there. And after you sit there for a while, they'll know that you're there. So, and if you don't have any friends or you're in a position not to socialize, there's always little like seats in certain areas where you can just sit by yourself and eat. One thing you wish every freshman knew. One thing I wish every freshman knew, I wish that you know that your freshman year does not define your whole high school experience. So just because you have a bad freshman year, not manifesting it, but if you have a bad freshman year or a rocky freshman year, or you feel like your freshman year was hard for you, just know your sophomore year will not be like that. Your junior year will not be like that. And definitely your senior year, because you're about to leave, will not be like that. So I feel like don't let your freshman year define your future or make you feel like just not susceptible to the whole high school experience or hold you back from anything. What to expect on the first day? Just expect to kind of, all the other freshmen are looking for their classes too. Unless you're familiar with the high school or went to orientation, even if you go to orientation, you still won't really know where your classes are if you have a bigger high school. So I would say just expect to just look for your classes, get settled in, and kind of memorize your schedule. Like you won't be doing nothing crazy. Some classes will give you work, some classes won't. But I feel like just expect for you to be getting adjusted on your first day. Not even your first day, really your first week. Like your first week, try to get adjusted, try to get settled in, try to memorize where you need to go in all your classes. So for the second week, when they start actually being strict and tell you where you need to be and where to go, you know exactly where to go and you know where your classes are. The difference between middle school and high school. I feel like the difference between middle school and high school, like I said, I feel like middle school is definitely more lenient. It's definitely more social, and I feel like it's definitely less strict. I feel like I said, say for example, if you were to fight in middle school, you get your suspension and stuff, like, it wouldn't really matter that much. But I feel like at high school, it definitely does matter and does have an impact on your transcript. And it can affect your ability to apply for certain clubs or certain sports if you have a certain type of look on your transcript. So I would say that's the difference. Definitely like the strictness of it, and high school is definitely bigger, it's definitely more social, so there's more opportunities socially, And I feel like you can do more stuff in high school, like run for homecoming, run for prom, and stuff like that. It's just more social opportunities, I feel like, because it's a lot more people. So I feel like whatever you had in middle school is probably double that. Like, that's how much people was in my high school, or in my high school now. So I feel like it's definitely different that way, more socially. And I feel like on the lenient slash like performative side, it's also definitely different. How do upperclassmen treat freshmen? Okay, y'all, it's only funny because I'm an upperclassman. But I feel like upperclassmen never treated freshmen any type of way. But see, personally, me, like I said, I did cheers, so I knew most of the upperclassmen, and everybody knew me as a cheerleader. So I feel like my opinion on it may be a little bit different, because I knew a lot of upperclassmen because I went to middle school with a lot of the upperclassmen, so I knew a lot of upperclassmen at the time. But and I still know them. Most of them graduated already, but I definitely knew a couple upperclassmen. I feel like they don't treat you no type of way. Like, you, like I said, you treat other people how you want to be treated. Like I said, I didn't really know a lot of I knew a decent amount of upperclassmen at the time because of football and cheer. So I just feel like it wasn't really nothing crazy to it. Just be kind. Don't really say nothing. If you want to speak to them, speak to them. If not, don't. Yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. I feel like the biggest mistake people make their freshman year is they most likely do not take it serious. Make sure you take your grades and your academics serious your freshman year. Like I said, that's the base of like your grades in your high school year. It's easier to bring your GPA down than it is to bring it up. So make sure you maintain your GPA and you keep your good grades and you have consistency. Because one thing most people also don't tell y'all is if you have a certain GPA or you get certain grades, you will not be eligible for certain sports. You will not be eligible for certain clubs, because you have to succeed academically before you succeed. You're a student athlete, so the student comes before the athlete. So you have to be academically ready and prepared before you become a student athlete, which is something they also look at. So for my cheer team personally, if you're failing one or more classes, you're not cheering. Like, that's how strict it is. Like, if you fail one or more classes, like not a C, if you're actually failing a class, you're not cheering. Like, you can't cheer the games until you bring it back up. Or if you have a C, sometimes they'll put you on probation. Like, if you don't get this C up by next term or next grading period, you will not cheer. So it's definitely strict with the grades, I feel like, academically. So you just have to make sure you stay consistent. And there's always tutors or student resources, and you can always email and access your teacher if you need help. Do not be afraid to ask for help if you don't understand something. Book a tutor in class, ask your teacher questions, email them, etc., so you can have an understanding for what you're doing. Because certain stuff that you do in your class freshman year will also be in your classes next year, because you're moving up to the next level. So make sure you understand everything and don't be afraid to ask for help. So I feel like homework wise, freshmen don't get that much homework. I mean, I feel like it's an average homework load. Like, some classes you'll have it, some classes you won't. So you just need to make sure that you have everything scheduled and you have a planner if needed. If you don't have Google Classroom, make sure you have a planner so you can have everything organized and sorted out. And just stay organized, stay on top of your work. Like, just stay on top of it so you won't fall behind or have to worry about it later. But personally, me, I feel like the homework load for freshmen isn't anything crazy. How to balance grades in school. Again, like I said, make sure you're focused on your academics and your grades. Remember, you're not here to make friends. You're here for high school, for your grades, and for your future. So make sure, like I said, just stay up on your grades, stay up on your work. And the parties and stuff, I don't know if this question means like socially, but the parties will always be there. The functions will always be there. Everything is going to stay, I promise y'all. So make sure you prioritize your grades first and your academics first. And you can always do fun stuff later. So they asked me about GPA scoring. GPA scoring, I feel like, is different for different high schools. I don't really know too much about it. I just know personally, me, I have a 3.7 right now. I know, make sure you check with your student counselor when you get like senior, junior year, what GPA you need to graduate, because that's also different for different schools too. But if you're like an A and B student, you should be getting somewhere around 3s, mid 3s, high 3s. And a 4.0 at my school is when you make all straight A's. Or maybe if you had A's and B's, or like 1 or 2 B's with some APs or honors courses to it, you can also maintain a 4. But that's just personally for me, so I don't know. The next topic is boys/relationships. Me personally, I feel like I can't really speak too much on this topic. I'm single, so freshman year, like, yeah, you talk to people or whatever, but I personally never dated anybody my freshman year. So boys, I would definitely say the first tip is don't talk to no senior. Don't talk to no senior. Don't talk to no super senior. Nothing like that. Personally, me, some people I know talk to juniors, but I would say don't talk to no juniors either, because you're about to be a sophomore, they're about to be a senior, and they're about to get on with their life, and you still have 2 more years left of high school. Why are we talking like that's just a certain concept I don't understand. But some people, if you talk to a junior or you're a sophomore talking to a senior, please do not let this be disrespectful in any type of way. It's good to have a high school relationship as a freshman. Like I said, it really just depends on your walk, what you do, like the boy that you talk to, and how that goes for you. Like I said, I didn't date my freshman year, so I can't really speak too much about that. But I mean, if you want to, go for it. You know? I feel like it's not crazy. Like, it's just, yeah. Boys' relationships, do not try to beef with these girls about no boy. Do not beef with nobody about a boy. Don't fight nobody over a boy. It's just not worth it. Because now everybody's going to look at you crazy. And they're like, why did you just do all that over a boy? Like, and the whole time the boy's talking to both of y'all. So you find her over the boy's talking to both of y'all, telling y'all the same stuff. And now you just look crazy. Like, so don't fight over no boy. Don't beef about no boy, because at the end of the day, you'll look back on it and realize it's really not that worth it. Like, it's so childish and so petty. I feel like, personally, to me, it's really not worth all that. Okay, so another tip I would say I have is to learn who you are first. Feel comfortable and confident within yourself before you get into a relationship. Because whoever you're with, whether it's a boy or a girl, make sure that you're confident within yourself and you know who you are. So your partner doesn't influence you and your decisions or your morals. And you can also feel confident enough to uplift yourself, because a boy or girl shouldn't have to do that for you. So I feel like if you're not emotionally mature or mentally like ready for a relationship, don't try to force it, because it does come with time. So my next topic and that I have is friends/drama. So they said how to avoid drama. Like, how to avoid drama, I feel like the best thing to do is distance yourself. If you see that your friend is over there being messy and talking about this girl and keep talking about this girl, who says she's not talking about you? I hate to be that person, but if you know your friend is always involved in mess and being messy, she's probably also involving you in the mess and putting you in it. And it's also a bad look for you and your reputation, because they're like, oh, she always talking mess and being messy, and you hanging out with her and you're surrounding yourself by her. So they're going to think that you always talking and being messy too. So yes, I feel like it definitely matters within your friend group and who you surround yourself by. So do not surround yourself by no mess. Do not surround yourself by no drama, and worry about you and what you have going on. So I feel like unless somebody's bothering you or coming at you crazy or talking to you crazy, then you really shouldn't be in no drama. If you steady yourself and mind your business. That's really all it is. And how to address and avoid rumors. Me, I don't address no rumors. Like, unless somebody say something real outrageous, I really don't get into too much of the outsiders and addressing the rumor. Like, if somebody asks me, be like, oh, is this true? It's either yes or no. I'll just be like, no, it isn't. And yes, if it is, now what? I mean, like, I feel like there's no need to go on social media trying to address something or telling all your friends this, that, and third. Because if the rumor is crazy enough, it's going to really make people be like, now y'all just talking. Like, most of the time, if the rumor is crazy enough, people won't even address you or try to, like, feed into the rumor, because people just be talking. People just be bored, y'all. So you really don't really need to be feeding into all that outside drama and that stuff. And like I said, avoid rumors. Don't spread nothing. If you don't know for a fact if it's true or not, like if your friend be like, oh yeah, they did this, this, and this, don't be telling your next friend, because what do you gain out of telling your next friend and your friend telling everybody? And what if your friend tell everybody and be like they got it from you? And the rumor not true, and whoever the rumor's about, they come pressing you and they want to fight you. Right. And then you're going to be sitting there looking crazy because you like, dang, I didn't even know if it was true or not. I didn't even start the rumor. So you just, if somebody try to tell you some mess or be messy or try to feed you into the rumor, don't even entertain it, and definitely don't spread it, because you won't get anything positive out of that. So how to deal with fake friends. Personally, me, I can't speak on all friendship experience, but I definitely feel like it depends on the friend and how long you knew them. I don't tolerate any of that around here. If you do something I don't like, I'll talk to you about it and we can move past it. But if it happens again, I feel like the first time is a mistake and the second time is with intention, because I told you I don't like it. I told you how it makes me feel, and you'll still continue to do it. So I feel like at that point, you're disrespecting me and my morals, and I'm not going for that. So after that, I feel like first time, depending on the situation, is always acceptable to moving forward and moving past it. But that second time, you cut off. Like, because I'm not about to keep entertaining it, because if I forgive you for a second time, since you feel comfortable enough to do it a second time, then it's going to be a third time. Then it's going to be a fourth time. And then at that point, I feel like you're just playing in my face, and I'm just going for anything. So after that second time, So fake friends, like I said, I feel like it's definitely susceptible on the situation. It depends on the situation and what they do. Like, if you know the disrespect is like they really play with you, I feel like just cut them off. Don't entertain it. Don't try to spread rumors about them. Don't try to disrespect them. Don't try to talk bad on them. Don't go on Instagram Live and Instagram stories talking about them and exposing all their secrets and all their stuff, because at one point in time, y'all were friends. So I feel like the best thing to do is just have a conversation with them and tell them, like, you're not my friend no more. And tell them why, so they don't act confused, and leave it at that. Like, you can do a healthy confrontation. You don't have to make a big scene. You don't have to get other people involved. You don't have to get social media involved. If that's really your friend, or at one point in time that was your friend, you can simply just go to them and tell them y'all not friends no more. Is it easy to make new friends? If so, how? Personally, me, yes, I feel like it's very easy to make new friends, especially if you're a social person like myself. But if you're more so shell or closed off, I feel like it could be easy to make new friends, but not really if you don't really talk to anybody. Personally, me, I feel like the easiest way to make friends is clubs and sports. Like I said, most people I knew since middle school were my friends my freshman year. I'm not saying they're some of them are still my friends now. All of them are still my friends now. We're just not as close. But we were definitely close freshman year, because I went to middle school with all of them. So then I feel like the clubs and the sports too, it had me make new friends, or people that I knew in middle school people that I didn't know in middle school and I met and re-met in high school, or start talking to them in high school, also made my relationship with them grow closer too. So I definitely feel like your classes and your clubs and your extracurriculars, that's a very easy way to make new friends. And some of those friends you'll have all of high school. So how to make friends at a new school. Like I said, you'll be by yourself. So like I said, just get involved. Don't be afraid to talk to people, and just don't be scared. Middle school friends. So I feel like, don't be upset if your middle school friends are not your friend in high school. Don't be upset if your freshman year friends are not your friends in sophomore year. Because people grow, y'all. Like, people grow. They move on to do different things, different interests, and different stuff in their life. So your friends that you may have before may not be your friends then. And that's completely okay, because people outgrow each other. So I feel like that's completely normal. Like, that's okay. You don't have to be friends with somebody your whole high school experience. That doesn't have to be like your ride or die. And you don't have to force a friendship. Like, it's okay if you guys outgrow each other, or start hanging around different people, because y'all may come back to each other. And if not, I feel like that's okay. So it's okay if you outgrow a friendship. It's okay if you just move past it. Okay, so then this last part is just extra tips that some people ask me about. So make sure you be cordial with all the staff. Do not disrespect the staff. Do not be mean to the staff, because that same teacher or that same administrator, you never know. You never know what position you may be put in. So they may help you get out of that situation, or they may vouch for you and accommodate for you just because you're simply nice to them and acknowledge that they're a human being every day. So be respectful to your teachers and your administrators. Do not cuss them out. Do not talk to them crazy. And if you're having a bad day, depending on the teacher, you can always be vocal to them and let them know. So if you ever say something or come at them some type of way that day, they know, and it's not anything personal. Something else I would say is get a locker. If you're involved in multiple things, get a locker. My freshman year, I personally didn't have a locker. I had a locker in middle school, and I feel like it helped a lot. So you don't have to carry around so much stuff all day. Like, please get a locker. if you know you're gonna have a lot of stuff, or you have certain classes some days, certain classes other days, and you don't have that class every day, you don't need to carry around that resource every day. Put it in a locker, put it somewhere safe. The only person that knows that code is you and whoever gave it to you, and the administrators. So don't be telling everybody your locker code, because then somebody gets in your stuff, you'll be upset. So keep your locker code to yourself and keep it interpersonal to yourself. Oh yeah, someone asked me about my cookie business and how that was for me in high school. I started freshman year. I started baking freshman year and selling stuff freshman year, and I still sell stuff to this day. I would suggest, like I said, give it to your friends first, make them try it out, make sure it's good, and then after that, have your friends help you promote it. So like, I knew which of my friends were real popular and which ones were kind of like just normal high school kids. So I would give my stuff to my popular friends, and they would tell their friends, and then this word got around that I sell treats. But please make sure to be careful, because you don't know who has allergies or anything of that sort, and at certain schools you're not supposed to be selling goods. So please make sure that you either have labels, or you know, like if anything contains like peanuts or dairy and stuff like that, to tell somebody. Because if you do not tell anybody about your treats and what's included in them, you can get arrested. You can go to jail. They can sue you for that type of stuff, especially because you're not supposed to be doing it. So I would just say, please be careful and take precautions before you just go out there selling stuff. And yeah, I would just say promote yourself, like bring yourself out there. Or if you're running for certain social campaigns, you can also bring your treats, and that'll help get your name out there too. But yeah, just promote, and you'll get sales, you'll get that money. And I feel like balancing a treat business in school, I feel like please do not over prioritize your treats over school. If you need to take a break, that's completely okay. If you need to like lessen the amount that you make, that's also okay. Do not drain yourself or overexert yourself trying to provide for people, because the money will always be there, the clientele will always be there. So if you need to take a break or step back, that's okay. So don't feel socially pressured to accommodate for the people if you know that's not something that you're susceptible to right now. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, and follow me for more. And yeah, so if you're a freshman, I hope this video helped. And yeah, bye y'all.